I want to give you my report on what's going on in the world right now, all right? So the way that I see it is that there's like huge opportunities opening up for in the music industry, okay? So now that these gatekeepers have been taken down, this is a huge opportunity for artists. And I know we look at it and we're like, oh shit, you know, but here's the numbers on it. This A-list group that has been leading the music industry represents 0.0000125% of the total population in the world. Okay, so this A-list group, which is about, say, 1,000 whatever gatekeepers on the music industries, are coming down. This is actually a good thing for artists, and you know, it may look down and dirty right now, but freaking this is throwing the gates open for a lot of creative people to step up and to have a voice in the world, and for new music to come out. So that's the very first thing, all right? So on the A-list in the music industry, that list in all the world represents 0.0000125% of all the people in the world. We know from watching TikTok that freaking there are so many talented people on this planet, and we are just really enjoying seeing all this talent displayed. This is a good thing, you guys. This is an opportunity. So if you're feeling discouraged because of what you're seeing, the gatekeepers are coming down. They're being taken out, and now it's, you know, it's going to open a whole new opportunity for creative people to be heard in this industry. This is a beautiful thing. We're going to be able to hear new music and all that. Now, I want to say this, that I've worked with inmates over like 20 years on furniture projects in the Delaware prison in the US. I'm in Indonesia right now. But I got to tell you that one day when I went there, and they were working on a furniture project for me, and I was driving, you know, my project past the compound with all the inmates outside in their orange suits, and my heart was just pounding, pounding, pounding. Then when I got to the area where I unload my furniture and I start making decisions about how this project is gonna go, I'm freaking rubbing shoulders with these inmates. So my projects went over a span of 20 years, and I repeatedly went to the prisons. And it amazed me what came across my mind on this one particular visit, and it was mainly because I was feeling really shitty about myself. And I thought, wow, isn't it amazing that you can just be so bad and still create something so beautiful? And so, you know, this is kind of what's happened in this A-list industry, is that, you know, people went in kind of like Ariel on, what is it, Little Mermaid, and it sold her soul and gave up her voice, which was her greatest gift, in order to get legs so that she could meet her prince that she wanted to meet. And but that decision to do that did not change the beauty of her voice. That contract that she made with Ursula did not change the beauty of her voice. And so there's this temptation to just look at, you know, what happened in this ugly and go, you know, it's all ugly, but it's not, because you know, you can still be really, really wicked and still make something amazingly beautiful. And that is the actual redemptive power in creation and in creating things, okay? So I know we want to jump on this bandwagon, and I am not saying excuse any of that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that recognize that some really ugly things, you know, some really beautiful things can come out of some really muddy waters. Some really, really amazing stuff can come out of ashes, all right? Some really beautiful things can come out of like a confinement. And this thing that's happening is going to open the doors for a lot of creatives. And it's what's needed to happen. So this A-list represents 0.0000125% of the population in the world. It's a very small percentage of people that have our attention. And the number of people on this planet that have beautiful voices can be heard now. So the other thing is, as it relates to prisons and things like that, the percentage of prisoners as it relates to the human population is 0.129, okay? 0.129 prisoners in prison right now as it relates to the entire population. This is a very small number. Now, it doesn't mean that we shouldn't, you know, look at it or have some sort of aspect in it, but realize that even though you're really, really bad, you can still make something really beautiful. And I worked with the inmates, and they made some beautiful furniture for me, for my family. My 7 children grew up on this furniture. And you know, I never saw these people that actually constructed the furniture for me because they were lifers. But the message that I got is that there's definitely redemption in creativity, and all of us are given that opportunity. And so as it relates to the music that's already been made, you know, that's going to be a personal decision how you view that. But the way that I view it is, there's such a small group of people, they stood at the gate, they are now being taken down. It's what needed to happen for all you beautiful creators on TikTok and in the world to put your work out. This is a true opportunity. And as far as like the fear of all of like the grunge and dirty that goes on with prisons, it's 0.129% of all the population that's in a prison, okay? It's very, very small. The other thing is, you know, when we look at the wealth of the world and we take like the entire population of this planet is way more wealthy than all the billionaires and millionaires that right now have our attention. So as a collective, we have the money. The money is with us. The voice is with us. There are more with us than that are with them. All right, just remember that. I want to put that into perspective. Then the last thing I want to say is that, you know, as it relates to the planet and say like dead water and the ocean, it's 0.1%, all right? 0.1% of this beautiful planet that we're on is dead water. That's a very small percentage as it relates to the entire globe. Now, the other thing that I want to say is about this second moon that's appeared. This is just my opinion, okay? But if there is some sort of, I don't know, other life that wants to engage with us, I think it's because they love our planet. It's so beautiful. And I'm going to take you to a story in the Bible where, and this is something that we celebrate every year in December, okay? Just remember that the birth of that person that we celebrate in December, whose father in today's vernacular would be considered an alien, okay? Yeah. So that interaction that took place with Mary was an alien, all right? I'm just calling it that because that is today's vernacular. That's the words that we use for things that we don't understand, that aren't human, and that don't reside on our planet. But that birth was a result of that encounter, that alien encounter. And we celebrate that every December. We put up a tree, we buy gifts, and you know, we have festivities all around that. So I think, you know, that there's nothing to fear as far as this other moon that's coming into play, because I really think that whoever or whatever is taking place in that really wants what we are and what we have. And if you think about that alien encounter with Mary, why was she picked? Because she was like the fairest, the most beautiful. And you can look on our planet and see the beauty and, you know, the beautiful women. I mean, you know, if there are aliens that wanting to interact, they might be worried about how we're going to view them, if they're cute or not, and how they're going to approach us. You know, it definitely is like the Princess and the Frog scenario, and can we love them? But I really think that if you take a look at Google Earth, like after you watch this, you will see that we're living on a beautiful planet, and it's no wonder that we're getting so much attention, even if it is from extraterrestrials or whatever. So in conclusion, what I want to say is that, you know, now that some of this gatekeeping has gone down, let's get to work. Seriously, let's roll up our sleeves. I mean, if you can't think of what to do today, you know, find something to rearrange in your life, and rearrange that thing just because it represents some sort of physical, tangible thing that you want to recalibrate in your life, and start there, and just realize that the opportunities have just broke open for everybody. And this is not a bad thing. Knowledge is good, and knowing is good. And now that we have so much knowledge, what it's going to give us is more freedom, not less, okay? So those are my thoughts on what's going on in the world. And just to recap the numbers, all right? So on that A list of artists and musicians that are the gatekeepers in the industry, the percentage in relation to the population of this planet is 0.000125. That's 4 zeros, 125. That's how small the percentage of these artists are. Yes, they've contributed a lot of music. Yes, they've contributed a lot of content. But imagine once they're out of the way, what can roll out now. Once that's out of the way, man, a whole new wave of creation is going to take place. It's really, really nothing now for us to fear. And the percentage of inmates is 0.129. 0.129 in relation to all the population in the world. And the people of the world, of this planet, hold the wealth. It is not the billionaires and the trillionaires and the millionaires. Collectively, we as a people hold the wealth, not them. They hold, singularly, they may have, you know, a large part of it, but collectively, we are more powerful in wealth than they are. And I know we can get into wealth distribution, blah, 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 but the real numbers are, as a collective people, we hold the money. As a collective people, we have the loudest voice. As a collective people, we have so much more talent to offer than that 0.00000129 or whatever, I forget, that I said earlier, percent of the music industry leaders that are gatekeepers on this. So, you know, it's like that. And then 0.1% of the ocean is dead water. So we have a lot of hope here. It's not over. Don't throw in the towel now. This is your opportunity to step forward. This is it. This is your chance to step through the gate that's been blocked for so long. This is your chance to actually look at what's going on in the world and go, all these political people, all these religious people, all these industry leaders, friggin', it's leveled. It's leveled. And it's kind of like a big old forest fire, and you get to come up as the new growth. So start cultivating your ground. Start, building that ground around you. Put the nutrients in it that are gonna allow you as that new life that's gonna come up from the dust, literally. I mean, what a welcoming thing this is. Seriously? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And there's an intelligence out there that's on our side, and that will give us, answers. We can't be bullshitted anymore. We can just get to right to the numbers and see the landscape in its entirety. It's powerful. It's if you want to believe in a God, it is God giving us the power. And if you want to believe in a God, then it is He who, the alien that came in and created a baby that we celebrate every December. There's nothing to fear. There's a great deal of love going on here, but it looks really scary and it looks really bad. But there's a flip side to it. So as you listen and, as all this stuff comes across your TikTok For You page, blah, 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 just remember, you get to focus on cultivating your spot and how you're going to grow up from this, because it's an opportunity. All these giants have been taken down, and it's meant to be this way. Totally. Totally. Yes. All right. So go for it. Start singing. Start creating. Let's do this. Let's do it. The opportunity is for us. Let's do it. Let's start cultivating. Make it happen. All right, you guys. Big love. Talk to you later.